Hi, I'm Barbara Ingram with Travel Tips and Info, and in this video I'm going to show you the best way to visit Bonaire if you're arriving on a cruise ship. Bonaire is part of the Dutch Caribbean islands called the ABC Islands, which encompasses Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Our ship was there from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., which gave us plenty of time to do some snorkeling on Klein Bonaire and take a short, about a 1.5 hour tour of the southern part of the island to see the salt flats and the flamingos. We didn't want to take a tour through the cruise line, so we did some research before we left and found a water taxi service that was only about a 10-minute walk up the main road along the water. It's called Epic Water Taxi, and you can find them online. It was only about $40 per person to go to Klein Bonaire, and they had sort of a unique service where they would drop you off at this buoy right there near the little island, Klein Bonaire, so that you could snorkel all the way to the beach where they would pick you up a couple of hours later. What I liked about this snorkel trip is that you're almost swimming along a ledge where it drops off into the channel, and then it's a little bit shallower as you get closer to the beach. But I wanted to show you this picture so that you could get a realistic view of what the coral is like there. It's not like it was 20-30 years ago when it was really lush and bright. It's really taken a beating with the recent storms. The whole snorkel trip was about 1 kilometer long, and you're swimming along the beach, so if you feel tired at any time, there are points where you can come out through the reef onto the sand. But there was not a very strong current, and the boat captain will look out for that, and he'll let you know if there's a current that you need to look out for. It's just a beautiful island with no development and very few people, and we had an absolutely wonderful time. It was some of the best snorkeling we did down there in the Southern Caribbean. Even the ride back and forth on the boat was just so relaxing, because being such a small boat, there were probably only 4 other people on the boat with us. And they gave us some great recommendations on places to see when we got back to the island. One of them was a bar right on the water called Carl's. And if you have a chance to go there, I highly recommend it. It was wonderful, very small, right on the water. This was our view. And the beers were reasonably priced, and it was just so relaxing after having been in the water for 2 hours. At this point, we only had about another 2 hours before we had to be back to the ship, and we wanted to take a quick tour of the southern part of the island. So we walked back to the ship and found a local tour operator named Elgin, who said he would take us on a private tour for only $20 a piece. And this is why I like to find my own travel and not necessarily always book through the cruise ship. I wouldn't recommend doing this on every island, but Bonaire is a special municipality of the Netherlands, so it has a very stable government and is quite safe. So on our trip, we saw some wild donkeys, which Bonaire is famous for, and we also saw the slave huts that are still standing after 150 years. Then we went on to the salt flats, which I found just fascinating. Bonaire supplies salt all over the world, about 500,000 metric tons per year. And those evaporation ponds that turn that beautiful pink color has brine shrimp and bacteria and algae that the flamingos eat, which is what turns them pink. As we rounded the southern tip of the island, you really got a sense of how strong the trade winds are. It is always windy, hence the name Jibe City here. This is where all the windsurfers hang out and where the Nationals were held last year. After the tour ended, we just had a short walk back to the ship and passed some beautiful buildings. It's such a nice town. All in all, I think this was hands down my favorite Caribbean island. We got to watch Kralendijk as we sailed away in the sunset, and it was just such a perfect day. So thanks for visiting Bonaire with us today, and don't forget to click subscribe so that you can watch our many other travel videos. Bon voyage!